I'm not going to read because they were just talking about exclusivity. We've already established there is no exclusivity. I'm not trying to run with the narrative that there's any exclusivity, so there's no reason to read those paragraphs. But that's the context of this update. And then they went on to say this. They said, we're seeing a lot of varied interpretations of what that means. We want to clarify further. We've had an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 in development for some time now. We've run into some technical issues developing the Xbox port that have stopped us feeling 100% confident in announcing until we're certain we found the right solution. King is the run that but they don't believe it's there. They could have left it there, they could have kept it generic. So they get specific. Specifically, we've been unable to get split-screen co-op to work with the same standard on both the Xbox and that is a requirement for us to get. Now, somebody might read that at face value and say, well, they're just having trouble with both consoles. But I think that's a bad thing. Okay? They said the phrase same standard. They can't get parity. I don't think they're going to. Okay? You don't get graphical parity between the Series X and the S. Watch any Digital Foundry video, the S is both behind parity everything what you describe as performance, even though it was sold as a 1440 console, sold as an next-gen console. It's not. Okay? It's an upgraded Xbox One X. Okay? Fight me on that all you want. The fact is that. I believe the appropriate way to read this is, look, it is the same standard. That's the same thing, right? If you're able to get it to work, same standard on both the Xbox Series X and S. They're talking about performance parity. They're not saying, yeah, we did get co-op to work. If they couldn't get co-op split-screen to work, well, there was no reason to invoke both consoles, Series X and S. There was no reason to invoke the phrase same standard. Simply say, we're having some difficulties with split screen. Series S. The self-made Trojan Wars have been trying to say this for a while. Something I've sworn and spoken about it is going to come over. Going to have third-party developers say, we do not want our game to run inferior on the Series S. Like, wild cards is running, cards is running. Some developers just accept the lower graphical performance. Great stuff. Other companies are going to say no, and that's what's happening right now. Listen to the final paragraph. Now, the other guy that we get, every But they were hearing complaints from developers that this was an issue they've been brewing under the surface for a while. Then, top of night, developers referred to the series as Potato, and they were flagged on Twitter, and then some day back part of the top of night. They had nothing to do with Gotham Knights. They were just out in public. Controversy from the young things they are. The series has Potato, and then they went private because the beginning act. They will run. Like a digital boundary, moving from the series from its software, and now we have another developer coming down. Struggling with the development of next-gen resolution and FPS performance. Also keep in mind that the same director of publishing from Laird Studios had the following to say about Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op is an RPG of its scaling and technical hurdle stop. We have hard-working teams here, great people who work on Couch Co-op across all platforms. There's a reason to be RPG. Doing developmental versions of normal, going to the next. So, in an effort to defend himself, he's like, this is really tough to do, okay? What finally probably seeing the real culprit as to why has missing features in Halo Infinite, like Couch Co-op, got scrapped. What's the best happening about that are first party and Xbox? They use Couch Co-op. platform's bigger, you're going to have to deal with all that nonsense over there, and Series S, not rising for a thing. Guys, so scratch like this. Why that's what Walker State looks like. If you watch that trailer, it's what they exclusive. Xbox is nowhere in the market. It's nowhere on the trailer. That's the public for the person not using the My Screen, Reddit, or Twitter. That's what they exclusive to the way casual gaming audience. Like you got better. And it's a long-standing right, relevant right. And if they don't do proper research, that's what somebody is thinking. They're going to go behind that. What else are they supposed to do? Get on Twitter and have smart, sarcastic responses? Is that what they're supposed to do? No! They're the consumers. They open up the storefront, they buy a game. That's all they're supposed to do. That's what's like. It's not making anything. So it's like you tell them how to make the game. Now, number 4, it's the actual dice, the predictions. Microsoft is hardware, and they just want to lean into cloud.
Inventory system says that the wall are hitting ethanol stores pretty hard. Think they're using it as fuel? Or maybe they need to forget too. And gonna maybe leave that down.
Cloud been weird the last couple of days? You haven't seen any of that, have you? Well, maybe it's better if you don't. Watching you fight the Vex has been amazing. They've threatened Neo Muno for just about forever. And you clean them up like yesterday's garbage. Just... wow. You wanna go take some more out?
This could mean that they decide to put much more into ecosystem cloud and software only, hardware behind. So what's my... well, my conclusion is that there is no path out of this that is not treacherous. First and foremost, if you insist on parity Xbox and potentially lose games or deal with delays for poor performance, that's the result of insisting on parity. Well, no, it's got to have the same stuff. It's got to have the same games, or you're going to deal with delays like this. That's not the headline that you want. If anybody right now is considering buying a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, and they say they see this announcement about Baldur's Gate, who do you think is going to get their money? Where do you think they're going to leave? With a console that apparently is tough to develop for, and is going to get the game later? You can't keep blaming the devs. The guys that get up my nose, they get in my comments, and they want to call the devs lazy, and the devs aren't willing to work hard enough. Do you think that's a narrative that's going to bode well and invite developers to come develop from the Xbox ecosystem? Well, you're late. If you don't optimize for our box, they're not going to go there. They're going to go with money. Imagine being criticized for not doing more work on a system. It was not your decision. It was Microsoft. And yet they get criticized for being lazy. That's the solution. Okay? This is going to hamstring the Xbox for the rest of this generation. Second thing I want to say in my conclusion, you're going to have to allow companies to more parity and then frustrate the space. So that's not a good option either. If you listen, ignore parity, and then just don't give the full audience, then you kick off your user base. And now you're allowing a third-party developer to make your platform look bad. What the team on your platform? Potential sales and money? They come and they can move your parity. You sound frustrated. Third thing I want to say in my conclusion is if they turn yes into a cloud box, that also frustrates me. That's why I said my conclusion is there's no way out of it. There's no road from where we are right now that doesn't frustrate the user base or by the user base. Let companies get the Xbox console, that would devastate the now for and if all of a sudden you start to see in the series that
inside the city utility gets jammed. Prosecutors insist any trespass against infrastructure at this time must be taken with utmost seriousness. Defense marketers argue their clients' activities are harmless youthful pranks spurred by years of stressful isolation. Stay tuned to Neomono Civil News for updates.
Like everybody else is struggling with large imagination production. So, at the end of the day, I think my prediction is that the self-made Trojan horse that will drive or gamers away from the Xbox platform is starting. Let's chop this up. That was a long one, but I had to say it all. Listen, I had to stop the mess. That's it. I told you so. I told you. There was another voice. I gotta take my money off. I had so much energy in that show. I'm ready to do my therapy. So let's start off. But you guys got it. Alright, wow, there's a lot of people watching the TikTok. 70-something people. That's a lot. Welcome on in. I this is my show along my man Frederick is 24 months that red badge. Here's the support and it's a VIP membership. Remember, Jamie's going to kick off the member goal for the day. That's the first gift member, and it goes Chris. Your Chris, and then Clay Rhoda, Dirt, or Chris Clay Rhoda said Dirt. I think it's Clay Rhoda Dirt. Series X owner, and I'm getting frustrated with Series X holding back. There's 11 months. I got a lot of respect for my man Doc Dart. There's levels to this 1985, okay? I got a lot of respect for Doc Dart. He is not holding back. He has said for a while, but I'm never going to see the witness of my Xbox Series X, the Series S. And he came out swinging this. But the PlayStation 5 is the better next-gen console. And how can you argue with him? He's an Xbox fan, and he's staring straight face at what's happening. He's like, that's the better console, better next-gen console. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's more powerful on paper. I mean, the actual technical breakdown of the PS5 and the Series X is really compare them. They're actually equal because one's stronger in this and the other stronger in that. Flaws. But I appreciate his candor. Yo, 5 gifted members coming in from Casual Grinder. It goes to Mark Tackman, the Standardized Plays, Trayvon, Alan for the win, and Burma. You guys all got a gifted member taking us this thing already. You guys can get 2,500 today and 3,000 members tomorrow. Obviously, my man Lightning coming in with 21 months. Really nice new class, more gaming, way more in style than the old ones. Madam thinks them. No, I'm back with I'm back with Gamer Advantage. Back with Gamer Advantage. They should be back up. A lot of respect for them for doing that. Worthy over there. Use my code Lono with Gamer Advantage. These are the ones that my partner manager said would look good on my face. And I think he's right. That's just thing goes on with 9 months. Welcome back in. Good to see you, Mama Rad. Watching from work computer and can't access chat. Love today's topic. Love the spike. Thank you. Big fresh in 12 months of membership. Welcome back in. We are kicking things off. Okay. I promised you a recap, and Joshua Castleberry just sent me 8 roses over here on the Tiggity Talk. If you guys want to support me over here, you can send stuff, click the star. The best way to support me is to click my link in my profile, come to my YouTube channel, and become a member. Watching there, the best way to support. Dr. is an Xbox fan, you don't know him? Are you kidding me? Don't start that with me, Andrew. You did that in my comments, okay? You don't make it, and I don't appreciate that. You're taking twice as stock in my comments. And I let it ride. But he talks constantly about how he prefers Xbox. He prefers Xbox. He's Game Pass gamer. He defends Xbox. He defends Game Pass. Huge Xbox fan. If you're gonna do that thing where he says something you don't like, you want to kick him out of your club, I don't think you can kick Doc out of the Xbox club. Man. You know, it's gonna be 7 months to me. I owe you guys a recap. I really do. Thank you.
Security, keep your eyes open. Utility lines are damaged in your area. Likely Cabal.
No, and no. His point in his video was, if you want next-gen games, that's the place to go. And how is he wrong? Tell me how he's wrong. Don't talk about this game like I don't like story.
Hey, stranger. Gamma teams left the transponder on one of those Cabal siege drills. And it looks like it's on the move towards you.
It's not on the way, Safe. It's already here.
Switch her on. Switch to the other, there you go. Carnage and Venom. Carnage and Venom. I lost a lot of weight in my years ago. You know, if I don't sit up perfectly straight, it gets over. I don't like one round. Sorry, use my code LONO over there at AD.com. East Coast Overlord with a $10 gift super chat. Morning LONO PC benchmarks are leaping forward again. We've almost hit 1,000 FPS in esports teams, both AMD and Intel. Media Pro console already in the Xbox One playing the Series S. When first people allowed to talk trash about Doc Dart and the Cowboys, never been the first. Alright, let me give you the recap. What was Doc's point? Doc's point was that the PlayStation 5 is a better next-gen console right now. Well, look at what's happening to Xbox. Now, look at it practically. Like, number one, they're launching games that run poorly on Series S. Now you have another situation where it's literally a developer coming out and telling you that all the games like, yeah, we can't get there. We can't get split-screen co-op to run to the same standard on the Series X and the S. So they don't have a release date for it. So PlayStation's gonna get it first. PlayStation basically spent $0 and they got a time exclusive. By default. How does it expensive? Yo, online MVP just gifted 10 members and went to Sony Nakamura, Robert Covert, J-Rock, Rumble 8, Gorilla, then Steamer Bottom, and Emmerich. You guys all got members now. You guys are going to start cracking on like for this. Look at that. Baldur's Gate 3, August 31st, PS5. Now, what, pray tell, do you think the gaming community concluded from that frame? And Online MVP does it again. Another 20 members. Are you going to single-handedly make me to adjust the screen Online MVP? 1 members on the day. This is already on PC Early Access. This is a console board. Basically what this is. Right? Look at this. Nothing. Sony spent $0 on this product. Where's the spell? What is that? Warm all of a sudden. What does that mean? I thought perspective is interesting. You need to remove feature parity and take off half the user base. Lose out on games. Devs are asking why they say the game didn't run on the edge. So when Creature Lab wrote this down on Friday, like, there's no way out of this that works for both players. There's no way forward for Microsoft. Nothing, no choice. It's like they give you a whole like Joshua Cavalieri, they did what they said. So I'm not I am sorry. On a variety of levels, number one, looking at the PlayStation 5 outselling the Xbox. What appears more physically attractive than thank you. I appreciate that. I felt
Frankly, glad to be out here with you. Something off in the cloud art these days. But that's not my department. I don't need that extra stress. I just need chow. Those kebabs keep hitting storehouses, and I need that back.
You can find Xbox X out there. I'm not interested. Listen, I'll always give you the fact that, like, the Xbox ecosystem is better for both. Like, I like your party system. I like your UI better. They certainly, I would think, have an edge. But Sony has their eyes on the live service. They want, like, what, 12 live out, right? Over the next 2 years. So they could start to cut into that market. You could, and listen to what you're saying about multiplayer. I'm not going to tell you you're out of touch, but it sounds out of touch. So, in the realm of multiplayer, there's like not the other word. Sony got Epic to pay them royalties to allow cross-play start talking about multiplayer, right? Not really dialed into what's been going on for the last couple of years. Now, you personally might have things that you don't like about PlayStation and you don't feel it's conducive to multiplayer. Fair. That's your own personal preference. But on paper, economically, Sony dominates in the multiplayer environment. They absolutely dominate. Literally didn't have to turn on crossplay in Fortnite, and the only reason they did was because they got Epic to agree to royalties. That's money. Everybody thought then pressure. Sony got Epic to defend. They're like, you see how much money you make on our platform? Hey. Before we go on to something, or we can go to the internet, or is that another power? It's another power. All the game free came out and said, we can't continue to co-op to work on the series X. What they said. They didn't say it exactly like that. Read what they said is what they said. So, but tell me right now. I want the pro Xbox guys to explain this to me. They've got split screen co-op to work on the PlayStation 5. Right? PlayStation 5 or interchange. How? Get split screen co-op to work on the PlayStation 5.
That's because they put more money into it, that's all. See? They're down with it.
might be the real culprit. Now we know why Slipstream and Halo Infinite was scrapped. And what other features are you not getting? What other features? No split screen on that game deal breaker. There it is. There's that Xbox motto. The Xbox motto is wait until. Wait until. Oh, just wait. Just keep waiting. Man, I gotta tell you, you're watching the movie dinner table with a nice restaurant, they really got stood up, and they're in denial about being stood up. That's what y'all child like do that. It's like, here we go again. Another piece of evidence that Microsoft is more stronger than I am. Wait for what? Wait for what? What am I waiting for? I want to hear from you. That always makes me feel good. I love being complimented by gay men. Like, I'd actually prefer it if you were gay. I would. Alright, let's look at this tweet. Let's look at this tweet, chat. bad if the company I like does something bad, right? Been calling the Series S thing for a while, and like Doc, I know my Series X was hamstrung by the stepbrother console. This is where myself and Doc Dark are in agreement, okay? We're in agreement. You pro Xbox guy? Pro Xbox? No. I'm not like, I don't need Xbox. I like Xbox. I'm not like Mr. Pro Xbox. Doc is very much...
So the Secret Exotic Quest has dropped. Guys, today we're going to be giving you our Exotic Blade Winter Bites Quest guide. I do want to mention that the damage on this blade is insane. Any blade, we have a 5 cut out of us testing it, using it with a lot of different exotics, seeing how it synergizes, and we also tested its damage against Templar. Guys, let me just say, it's the best damage in the game. Which is kind of ironic, considering so many people were upset that this was a heavy glaive and not a glaive in our kinetic slots. Now, let's talk about how to get this thing. First things first, you need to complete the Lightfall campaign. You unlock Strand, and after talking to Nimbus in the Watchtower in the Amuna and experiencing the Hall of Heroes ceremony for Rohan, you'll talk to the Archivist Quinn Lagari in the Hall of Heroes. She has a series of quests that you need to complete before unlocking the exotic quests. Now, the first quest you'll receive is Welcome to the Hall of Heroes. This is a very quick introductory quest. All you need to do is just listen to the audio recordings, spread out through the room, scan the Cloud Strider memorials, and then proceed to repair a memorial. Then it's back to the Archivist again to finish the quest. Now, next, you'll need to begin the Stargate quest. Step 1, loot a terminal overload chest at the end of stage 3. These actually rotate control zone on the Amuna, and these are quite difficult to complete. So again, run some meta builds. We actually have an entire guide on how to do these activities. You can actually go and click the activity in the director to load into an instance, and it should give you other players. Day 1 it wasn't, or you can just run into this activity while patrolling. Now you only need to open the free chest, not the lock quest that requires an overload key. Now step 2, you need to defeat Dex Hydra in the empty terminal to obtain a high security passcode. Now this is just outside the Zephyr Conquest. You'll head into the area, kill a couple ads, and then the Hydra to progress. Now step 3, obtain a terminal overload key by completing public events, chest, or completing control. Again, guys, we made an entire guide on how to farm these keys, as well as other things like Strand Meditation, Redbox weapons, etc. Essentially, guys, it's all RNG based, but every time you lose a chest or complete one of these events or a patrol, you have a chance of getting an overload to drop. Now, step 4, after you complete an overload, you will do another terminal overload, but this time, spin that key at the end of stage 3 on the second chest. As mentioned in our guide yesterday, guys, each one of these chests, depending on the area is doing a terminal overload, will drop a specific weapon every time. SMG, shotgun, and a machine gun. Unfortunately, none of these weapons are craftable. Don't just discard rolls thinking you're going to get a deep sight. Now, step 5, visit the Hall of Heroes again and interact with the Stargazer Memorial to repair it. Afterwards, step 6, speak to the Archivist again to complete the Stargazer quest, and now you're going to receive the Maelstrom quest. Now, for Maelstrom, you essentially need to bond with the Strand sources and participate in public events, patrols, and loot resources within the Vex Incursion Zone. Now, we talked about Vex Incursion Zone yesterday, but it's essentially just this bottom right portion where a lot of different Vex are going to be spawning. This is the Liming Harbor. By the way, this is also going to be on a weekly rotation. So next week, it's going to be in a different location. Whatever the zone is, just go there. And if you don't know where, look on your director. You'll have a green Vex icon. Now, you're also going to have to find Strand sources. Now, these are actually similar to empowerment pillars from the campaign. Once you collect one, you'll receive high uptime Strand abilities for about 30 seconds. If you need to just collect 2 of these, honestly, guys, you keep running around, these will pop up. But again, it is RNG based. And finally, you need to participate in several events in the Vex Incursion Zone. Hit that 100%. It takes about 30 minutes, guys. Patrols give somewhere around 4%. Heroic public events give 10%. By the way, you can double dip to speed up progress. So if you're in a situation where you completed a heroic public event, you jump on your Sparrow, run out of the zone, or Sparrow out of the zone, wait for the text to load up on the bottom left end of your screen, turn around, and Sparrow right back. This will allow you to move the chest. Yes, you can do this for everything on the Amuna. It's a classic way of getting more loot, and in this case, more loot, more reputation, more progress for this quest. Now, step 2 for the Maelstrom quest, complete the lost sector with the Vex Incursion Zone. This week, it's the Drilladome lost sector. In future weeks, you will most likely see different lost sectors. Not a hard lost sector though, although I will say some of the lost sectors here on the Amuna, they almost feel like mini sprites, right? This guys run through it, kill the bad guys, loot the chest, and move on to step 3. This time you need to return to the Hall of Heroes to repair the Maelstrom Memorial. Upon doing that, visit the archives again, right next to it to complete the Maelstrom quest, and now begin the Blue Jay quest. Now this quest is a little bit harder, as it does have some level requirements, but hopefully by this point you do have the level for it. But Blue Jay starts with visiting Nimbus, which brings you to the second step. You now need to go into the combatants in the current section Curtain Zone with the strand subclass equipped to obtain shell code fragments and open a terminal over the chest to obtain a polymorphic engine. Now you go back to the infected Curtain Zone. This is just plain terminal overload activity. If it's also in the same area, that's fantastic. So you can double dip and then beat stage 3 and open and overload the chest. Pretty much what you've already been doing for all these other activities. Now step 3 requires you to complete partition activity. This is actually located in line with Barber. Set up your waypoint guide will bring you right there. Now step 4, return to the Hall of Heroes to repair the Blue Jay Memorial. Visit the Archivist right afterwards, and now you'll be getting the Strider quest. Now to complete the Strider quest, you need to spend Terminal Overload key at Terminal Overload public event location. Where you kind of get locked out. I actually got screwed out of it, and that's because the terminal overload events are on a daily rotation on Shimoda. The 3 areas are Denver Concourse, the Park, and Liming Barber, and the event rotates in that order. That means your step takes 3 days to complete. So if you haven't started on it, you'll need to complete these before you can progress. But at the end of the stage 3 terminal overload, your chest will drop. The second chest requires a terminal overload open. Keep in mind, guys, this does not retroactively complete. Meaning, once you get this quest step, you have to do all those activities, all those terminal overloads again, and loot that second chest. Now, step 3, defeat Shadow Legion forces in Shimoda to find completion data, then dive into the Parkball sector for a data cipher to put the data together. Now, defeating any Shadow Legion on the Imuna will actually give you the location data. This doesn't require many kills, and honestly, just do it in the Lost Sector, and this will complete the second step of this quest as well at the same time. Then the Lost Sector to acquire the data cipher is located at the ship in the Ahimsa Park. You can actually see it right here, guys. Once you arrive at the ship, head down, and on the side right there, there'll be a narrow walkway that leads to an opening in the side of the ship. Now you'll need to defeat the Cabal boss at the end and open the chest to complete the next step. Now step 4, head back to the Archivist again at the Hall of Heroes. Step 5, interact with the Shriner's Memorial Hall of Heroes, then prepare it, and then step 6, you'll need to travel to Maya's Retreat in Line of Armor. You're actually going to travel there, guys, and you'll fight your way through the enemies, and then interact with confluxes until the event ends. A lot of this gameplay, I'm having to bum up the last because, again, I messed up. I didn't get it day 1 whenever it was actually the Zephyr events, so I'm having to wait until tomorrow to finally finish this quest. But if I'm doing this, guys, and interacting with those confluxes, you go back to the Watchtower and talk to the Archivist once more. Step 7, after you visit the Archivist once more, she will then give you the Winterbind Glaive as a reward. Now, guys, yes, and now begins the Blue Jay quest. Now this quest is a little bit harder, as it does have some level requirements, but hopefully by this point you do have the level for it. But Blue Jay starts with visiting Nimbus, which brings you to the second step, where you now need to go into the combatants in the current Vex and Curtain Zone with the Strand subclass equipped to obtain shell code fragments and open a terminal overload key chest to obtain a polymorphic engine. Now you go back to the Vex and Curtain Zone and essentially just play terminal overload activity. If it's also in the same area, that's fantastic, so you can double dip and then beat stage 3 and open and overload key chests. Pretty much what you've already been doing for all these other activities. Now step 3 requires you to complete partition activity. This is actually located in Liming Harbor. Set up your waypoints, guys, it'll bring you right there. Now step 4, return to the Hall of Heroes to repair the Blue Jay Memorial. Visit the Archivist right afterwards, and now you'll begin the Strider quest. Now to complete the Strider quest, you need to spend terminal overload keys at each terminal overload public event location. This is where you can kind of get locked out. I actually got screwed out of it, and that's because these terminal overload events are on a daily rotation on the Imuna. The 3 areas are Zephyr Concourse, Ahimsa Park, and Liming Barber, and the event rotates in that order. That means this step takes 3 days to complete. So you haven't started on it, you'll need to complete these before you can progress. But at the end of the stage 3 terminal overload, 2 chests will drop, and the second chest requires a terminal overload key to open. Keep in mind, guys, this is not retroactively complete, meaning once you get this quest step, you have to do all those activities, all those terminal overloads again, and loot that second chest. Now step 3, defeat Shadow Legion forces in the Imuna to find location data, and then dive into the Ahimsa Park Lost Sector for a data cipher to put the data together. Now defeating any Shadow Legion on the Imuna will actually give you the location data. This doesn't require many kills, and honestly, you can just do it in the Lost Sector, and this will complete the second step of this quest as well at the same time. Now the Lost Sector to acquire the data cipher is located at Callie's ship in the Ahimsa Park. You can actually see it right here, guys. Once you arrive at the ship, head down, and it's on the side right there. There'll be a narrow walkway that leads to an opening in the side of the ship. Now you'll need to defeat the Cabal boss at the end and open the chest to complete the next step. Now step 4, head back and speak to the archivist again at the Hall of Heroes. Step 5, interact with the Shriners Memorial in the Hall of Heroes to then repair it. And then step 6, you'll need to travel to Maya's retreat in Liming Harbor. You're actually going to travel there, guys, and you'll fight through ways that affects enemies and then interact with Confluxes until the event ends. A lot of this gameplay I'm having to bum up with less because, again, I messed up. I didn't get it day 1 whenever it was actually the Zephyr event, so I'm having to wait until tomorrow to finally finish this quest. But upon doing this, guys, and interacting with those Confluxes, you go back to the Watchtower and talk to the Archivist once more. Step 7, after you visit the Archivist once more, she will then give you the Winterbind Glaive as a reward. Now, guys, this is a beautiful exotic. It is ginormous, by the way, and it is the first of its kind as it is a heavy glaive. Now, its perk, Big Frigid Glaive, allows you to fire a large ball of energy that locks onto nearby at the same time. Now, the Lost Sector to acquire the data Strider quest, you need open. Keep in mind, guys, this does not retroactively complete, meaning once you get this quest step, you have to do all those activities, all those terminal overloads again, and loot that second chest. Now, step 3, defeat Shadow Legion forces in the Amuna to find location data, and then dive into the Himza Park Lost Sector.
Weird chatter from Cloud Arc lately. I could use a hand.